third thing that happened was that there was a major economic downturn. It wasn't as serious as 2008, the global financial crisis, but it was serious. And one of the effects in New Zealand is that interest rates went through the roof. If you are new New Zealanders, let me just explain that to you. Many people at that time were paying 16 to 17% interest on their first mortgages, and some were paying 20 to 24% on their second mortgages. Now, if that happened in Auckland City today, we would have hundreds and hundreds of our families would go bankrupt. But we were in a time in our church where it was growing, and I just didn't even notice, really. I noticed it when I had to pay my mortgage every week, but I didn't really think about it until one of my leaders came and said, Bruce, you do realize that our people are hurting. And it got me focused. And so at that point, I'd been given a series of tapes called Could You Not Tarry or Could You Not Wait With Me for 1 hour? How to have a prayer life that is an hour and focus for that whole hour. And I was doing that. And the third part of the prayer is, give us today our daily bread. I don't know whether you're familiar with that particular verse or you're familiar with the verse. I know that. But the actual Greek that's used there doesn't mean this. It doesn't mean, oh God, I'm in trouble. Help me. Give us this day our daily bread. It's not a begging prayer. In the original language, it literally says this. Give us this day our daily bread. It's in the affirmative. It's in the proactive. Can you really hear what I say? It's aggressive. When I first heard that, I thought, I can't talk to God like that. I love him. I can't talk to God like that. But then I suddenly realized this. How many people here believe that God wants to give us our daily bread? Absolutely, me too. How many people here, this is a more difficult question, how many people here really want to receive your daily bread? Wow, you were quick. So here's the thought. If God wants us to have our daily bread and we want to receive our daily bread, where's the problem? The problem is there's a thief who tries to steal our daily bread. And that's why we've got to get aggressive. Give us today. And so I began to pray that prayer, Leon, just like that. Every day I would get up and I would pray, give us today our daily bread. And I was aggressive. I'd stomp my foot. I'd been doing it for 3 months, and then a wonderful thing happened one particular morning. I was just praying, and all of a sudden the presence of God just came into the room. It was one of those moments where it was like a cloud just came down all around about me. And if you ever get in that situation, you realize when God comes in and greets you like that, anything you say is probably going to be the wrong thing. And so I went silent. And I've heard the voice of God say to me, enough, Bruce, I heard you. That's all he said. Enough, Bruce, I heard you. I went to work and I was buzzing. I was on cloud 9 or close to it. And at about 10 o'clock in the morning, a little lady comes into my church. Her name was Jenny. She was a nurse. We were good at winning professionals. And she said, how are you, Pastor? And I said, Jenny, I'm fantastic. I said, I was up early praying this morning and I felt God spoke to me. And she said, what were you praying about? I said, I was praying about the mortgages of people in our church. By the way, can anyone tell me what is the etymology, the origin of the word mortgage? I know it means a bank loan in our current language. Does anyone know what the word means in its original language? It means to... Yeah, that's right. Very good. It comes from 2 Latin words. The first is the word mort, which means to die or to kill. The second is the word gauge. I knew you. I just came here this morning to encourage you, my brother. So the first one means to die or to kill. The second word, gauge, means to grip or to hold. So the word mortgage means a death grip. Aren't you glad I came this morning? So, I really have no time for mortgages. I want to set people free from them. And so, I said, I'm praying about people's mortgages. And this little lady, she looked up at the ceiling and she said, it's time, isn't it, Father? I said, oh, it's time for what? And she said, it's time for me to tell you something. I think God's given me the answer. I said, well, Jen, you've got to tell me because I don't have the answer. I don't know how to help my people. And so she had this idea. She had this idea that the new, families in our church should get into groups of about 7 families, and they should all begin to pray. Say, Lord, who do you want to set free from your mortgage first? And when they all agreed that which family they believed God wanted to set free first, they would all give that family an extra $20 a week. That's the extra $140 to go off on their mortgage. Now, in today's terms, that's not a lot, but back in 1987, that was a lot of money.